All right, so welcome everyone to the Rise of the Data Marketplaces. I'm Michaela from IT Strategist, and today we're featuring Exchange Data International, which is a company that offers a variety of data, but currently features data on foreign exchange rates on the Snowflake Marketplace. In the description below, I'll link the Snowflake Solutions website if you guys need any more information, and I will link below the Exchange Data International website as well. But without further ado, let's introduce our guests. So let's start with Jonathan Bloch.
Hi, thanks very much, Michaela, for the introduction. My name is Jonathan Bloch. I'm CEO and founder of Exchange Data International, which is based in London. Most of our clientele, however, is in North America. We have been going since 1994, so we are nearly 27 years old.
Nice. And Youness Migou?
Yes, my name is Youness Migou. I'm the IT delivery manager, and it was my team that was tasked to put the data up into the Snowflake platform.
Thank you so much. Thank you both for being here today and for joining me in this interview. But without further ado, we shall get started with the questions. And so, how and why did you first get on the Snowflake Data Marketplace, and who exactly did you work with for the process?
Well, Jonathan arranged everything in terms of getting onto the marketplace with the Snowflake team. And the person I dealt with was Brian Nadden and another Hassan Bhatti as well. They were the two people that I spoke with.
And throughout the process, as you guys are still relatively new, has it been easy so far? Have there been many challenges? How was the transition to the Snowflake Marketplace?
I mean, the platform itself is not too difficult. I mean, for us, the transition really was moving away from delivering files to delivering databases and providing access. So it was a slight change the way we work because we're used to delivering files. But generally, the platform was straightforward enough to use. Lots of documentation, lots of help. So the team as well, Hassan and Brian and one other fella, they were very good as well, answering questions and helping.
And so I remember, Jonathan, you had mentioned that you guys are very interested in the corporate sector. Moving forward, do you see yourself using the data marketplace mainly focusing on the corporate sector, or do you guys believe that you will kind of use it to both merge the financial and the corporate together?
But at the moment, we seem to be getting a lot of interest from the corporate market. But we believe that the banking and financial sector will also move to Snowflake. I mean, Snowflake represents a different way of delivering data in the sense that the clients can access the databases directly. And we feel that this is the way forward.
Mm-hmm. The data economy is definitely going to transition to being able to buy more data online, specifically through Snowflake, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And so, do you guys sell your data on other platforms as well, or are you solely on the Snowflake Marketplace?
Well, we sell on a lot of other data platforms, but they predominantly service the financial community. The interesting thing about Snowflake, it widens out the market for data, financial data, into a much broader market of corporates, government agencies, etc.
I see. And so on these, or specifically focusing on the Snowflake Data Marketplace, how much does it cost to use your data set? Or specifically, an example, if someone wants to use 5 years worth of data, how much would that cost? And what would be the process to gaining access to that data?
We produce competitive pricing, and Youness can go through the procedure on how you can get the data.
Okay, so on the Snowflake platform, we have listings up advertising our data. If there is, obviously through the Snowflake platform, you can just request access to the data, at which point it will come to our sales team. They will work out terms with the prospect, and then once everything's signed, we give access through views, specifically for what the client wants. So, we can customize as much as people like.
I see. And can you go into a bit detail of how you, since you are working with foreign exchange rates, they're constantly changing?
So we gather our data from a multitude of sources. banks, and other financial institutions. And these data sets are rigorously tested against the marketplace. And we've been offering foreign exchange rates for several years now. And our customers, you know, like them and therefore continue to subscribe for them.
Yeah, if they continue to subscribe, it means it's something good, right? And so how often is it updated? You guys, I believe you guys have different timestamps so you guys update the products?
Yes, so we currently deliver daily file or twice a day file or hourly exchange rates. We can go as far as 10 minutes upon request, but yeah, we generally do hourly for the most part.
Speaking of customers, how exactly are you providing value to them? Like how exactly can they use your data that they cannot use anywhere else?
So our customers use foreign exchange rates in a variety of functions. For example, they could be a company invoicing a company in another country, and therefore they need the foreign exchange rates for that country's currency. Or they can be preparing their accounts and they might have bank balances in different currencies and need to translate it into their domestic currency. Or they might be traveling abroad and they need to know how much of a foreign currency they need to take. So there are a multitude of uses that foreign currency rates play in the modern commercial world.
They can do anything with your data and apply those to those uses, right?
And what we can do is we can make their base currency any one of several hundred different currencies.
And so you mentioned earlier that your user base is mostly now coming from the corporate sector. Do you believe that that will remain the same, or do you believe that a different or new type of customer will arise later on in the future as well?
Well, I mean, at the moment, the people that are using us on Snowflake are corporates, but at some point, I believe banks and financial institutions will also begin to use Snowflake.
And roughly how many users are you seeing using your data set right now on the Snowflake Marketplace?
This is a growing number, but it's still early days as we've only been on Snowflake for a few months.
That's true. And so you mentioned before that there are various use cases for your data, and so I believe, is it true that the users are joining your data to their own data sets to grab the maximum value from the information that's provided to them?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, they cannot just use the foreign exchange rates in isolation. It's got to have some connection with data they have internally.
And of all the use cases that you've seen from all of your customers, what is the top use case? Like, what is the most common thing you see your data being used for?
Well, I mean, in the financial space, they will use the foreign exchange rates if they own stocks in other currencies and need to translate them back into their home currency. And in the corporate world, it would be for invoicing purposes.
I see. So for any customers watching that are interested in using this data, you already know what the most common use data set is, or common use case for it is. And all right, so my last question to you guys will be, do you have any advice for any other providers that are looking to join the Snowflake Marketplace, or anything you want to say to customers?
I mean, for myself, there are some good benefits to joining it. I mean, it takes out some pain points in delivering files to clients because you don't have to worry about the whole pushing the file to a server for them to collect it and extract the data. I mean, it's all there in the database ready to collect. So that's quite good. Less points of failure. Also, making the data available on every region, pretty much on the top cloud platforms, is quite great as well. So you don't actually have to go and sign up to each cloud provider individually. Just do it through Snowflake and just replicate your data to anywhere cross provider. So that's another very good point. And the prices so far have been very good, remarkably cheap from my perspective.
Thank you. And Jonathan, any words?
Yes, I mean, I think that all data providers should be looking at different methods to get their data disseminated. Particularly, as Youness has mentioned, it does smooth the path when you don't have to worry about how they're going to receive the files, where they're going to pick the files up from. It's a much smoother way to deliver data.
Snowflake is definitely growing a lot of customers and a lot of interest just because of the simplicity and the easiness of the platform overall. So definitely for future providers, definitely an area that you should look into. But all right, with that, thank you so much for this interview. Thank you for your answers. I will link everything in the description below, so I will see you all at the next video.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Very
Michaela.
nice. Please visit our website www.exchange-data.com or alternatively email us at info@exchange-data.com. We look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.